Am I wrong for interrupting my husband's live stream and going off on him after he forgot to feed and change our daughter's diaper? I am a 32-year-old female and my husband, 35, has a YouTube channel with over 14K followers. He's been doing live streaming a lot lately, even though I told him that we have responsibilities to take care of. Before our daughter, she's 7 months old, was born, he'd stream randomly and spend a lot of time with his followers, answering questions and engaging in conversations. He keeps saying that his followers are good for his mental health and that engaging with them weekly makes him become better at socializing and communicating. He's been complaining about wanting to do a live stream for days. I told him we'd look at our schedule and see if we could get him some time to make it happen. Apparently, this wasn't good enough. Yesterday, I had to go grocery shopping and asked him to keep an eye on our daughter while she was asleep. He said okay. I was gone for 4 hours but kept calling him to see if everything was okay. He'd tell me she was all right and that she was sleeping. I started getting this weird feeling something was wrong because she must have had been hungry or needed a diaper change. He argued that everything was fine. I immediately went home and when I entered the house, I didn't find him. I shouted his name but got nothing. I went into the bedroom and saw that my daughter was awake and her diaper wasn't changed, and worse was that her bottle was even touched. I was confused. I got out and noticed that his office's door was closed. I figured he was doing a live streaming from the noise I heard. I was beyond seething. I barged into the office and saw him sitting. I blew up while he was trying to turn his mic off and telling me to stop, but I didn't stop. I berated him for leaving our daughter unattended and with no milk nor diaper change. He freaked out on me, saying I just ended his entire channel and destroyed his fanbase for interrupting his livestream and embarrassing and scandalized him like that. I told him to not say a word, but he kept yelling, calling me out of control and unhinged. He was almost crying, so I had to leave the office. He kept fighting with me till I decided to go stay with my mom. He started blaming me for ignoring his needs after he already expressed them and that he forgot to do what I asked him and I'd cost him so much. Now is telling to come back home because he misses his daughter. Am I wrong for saying that I don't love my niece to her face? I know the title makes it look bad, but hear me out. I, 26-year-old female, have a niece, Laura, 8-year-old female through my sister, Kim, 33, and another niece, Amy, 6-year-old female through my brother Tom, 35. I know my siblings love their kids wholeheartedly, but when it comes to parenting, they each have different styles. This comes from the way that we were all brought up by our parents who used the "because I'm the parent and you're the child" or "obey me without question" mindset that we all resented. Kim is the type of mother who just can't seem to say and still to the word no, while Tom will at least give an explanation as to why. While Amy is a sweet, energetic little girl, she does listen and knows to respect people's rules or boundaries. Laura does not. Laura is entitled. Laura is impatient. Laura is whiny. Laura will throw a massive tantrum if she is denied anything and will get progressively worse the longer she is denied because she knows her mom will cave eventually. I haven't watched Laura since she was 6 and it was a nightmare. She yelled, screamed, kicked me, drew on the walls, and broke one of my framed pictures, all because I made her dinner instead of getting fast food. Kim did apologize for Laura, but shrugged off the idea of giving out a punishment, citing that kids will be kids. Never again would I be responsible for my niece again. Amy, on the other hand, may need to be told something more than once, but ultimately is a respectful child. I definitely babysat for Tom multiple times and do fun activities with Amy when I can. The coming August, before the start of school, I was planning on going with some friends to the Mouse Kingdom in Florida. Due to life events, they dropped out, but I still wanted to go and asked Tom if he and his wife would be down to come with me and I'd go 50-50 on everything with them. They were delighted and we all decided to go. Obviously, Kim found out and wanted to come too, but we all knew she couldn't afford it, so I thought everything was settled. Well, Laura found out and at our family dinner, she was super upset about Amy getting a surprise trip, but not her. She then looked at me and said, "Auntie, you have a nice job and no kids, you can pay everything." I told her that while I may make more money than her mom, I can't pay for everyone by myself. Laura said, "Yes, you can. You had money to pay for that car." She pointed to my new car in the driveway. "You can pay for me and mommy to go." I refused and cue the tantrum. It was awful, and she kept screaming why and saying that if I really loved her, I'd make her happy by paying for the trip over and over. I kept refusing, and she got worse, before I finally snapped and yelled back that I didn't love her. That she was a mean little girl and that I didn't like being around her. That definitely shut her up, for a moment, before she started to sob and cry. Kim is berating me for being so heartless and that I'm evil for favoring one niece over the other. Am I wrong for excluding my father's affair child for my late dad's birthday/anniversary party? The party was 2 months ago, but this is still coming up, so I just want to get some external opinions. In February, it came out that my father had a child out of marriage. Let's call him Ollie, and Ollie is 24. It was a shock since no one expected it, but we took the tests and he is Dad's son. He's an okay guy, but I grew up with 3 siblings, and they are the only siblings I'll ever know, so we don't have much of a relationship, but I acknowledge him and we get along when we see each other. June 18th is my father's birthday and what would have been my parents' 50th anniversary. My mother had been really looking forward to this milestone while he was alive, so we planned this small party to celebrate what would have been 50 years of marriage and his birthday. Just a nice lunch with my aunt, uncles and grandmother, as well as a visit to his grave. My sister told Ollie about the plan and he asked to be involved since we're celebrating Dad's birthday. The problem is that my mother is still struggling to accept him or the fact that Dad cheated. She's in therapy for this. And since this was a dual birthday and wedding anniversary, inviting the kid he had out of marriage seems like adding salt to the wound, so I said, no, he couldn't be involved in the party. However, we can make arrangements to go to the grave as siblings with him afterwards and then have dinner together on me since he is Dad's son in the end. My sister told me, Ollie was offended and mad at me for treating him like an outsider and tried to come gate crash, but my husband saw him outside and just asked him not to. I only found out about this afterwards. Him and my 2 sisters ended up going to the grave alone after everything ended and had dinner without me. I understand where he's coming from, but also believe I made a fair compromise under the circumstances. Am I wrong for keeping my food in my room where my roommate can't get it? I'm from the Midwest and live in a major city with 2 roommates. One of them is nice and has become a really good friend. The other one, however, is annoying. But I spend most of my time in my room with the door locked, so I don't have an issue with him. He isn't annoying in a way where he is messy or doesn't pay rent on time. He just is the kind of guy you wouldn't want to hang out with. Well, he likes to eat any food he sees fit. If you put ice cream in the fridge, it's going to get eaten. He doesn't enjoy eating homemade food. He has the taste of a 9-year-old and only wants microwave mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. I eat healthy and exercise, so I cook and meal prep most of my meals. So it's not a problem for me. My good roommate, on the other hand, his frozen pizzas and frozen White Castle burgers get eaten. My Tupperwares of home-cooked foods aren't touched. I keep my junk food in my room. My bed has drawers underneath that lock, so I store my chips and cookies and stuff in there. When my roommate sees me on the couch with a bag of chips in hand, he gets very offended and looks in the cupboard like, "Where did you get those chips? Do you keep those in your room? Give me some." While I was working, he texted and asked me where the key to unlock my bed drawers are, and I just replied, "Lol, you're so lame." I was telling my parents about this, and they are kind Midwestern folk, and they think I'm being a jerk. When I am home and I see him eating my roommate's food, I put a stop to it, but I'm not home much. Our roommate works from home. That's it for today's story time. Enjoy the rest of the video.